Have you ever noticed that our eyes don't grow old in a single day, but little by little, silently, like the ticking of a clock through the night? One day, you realize you need a brighter lamp just to read the newspaper. Another day, you find yourself struggling to drive when the sun sets. And then there are moments that cut even deeper, not being able to see the faces of your loved ones clearly, or squinting hard just to read a simple bill. This is not your fault. This is simply the truth of aging. But that truth does not mean you are powerless. Modern science gives us a gentle answer: the body still listens to care. Every cell, even in the retina, still has the ability to repair itself when nourished properly. And the beautiful part is, sometimes that nourishment doesn't come from expensive supplements or distant laboratories, but from the very kitchen you've known all your life, ordinary vegetables, quietly waiting on your plate. Would you believe that a simple dinner, with just a few cooked vegetables, could become a shield for your eyes while you sleep? It might sound too simple, but research has shown that certain nutrients in these vegetables, when prepared the right way, can help reduce inflammation, strengthen the retina, maintain night vision, and protect against the silent wear and tear of aging. This is not magic. It is the harmony of science and nature. From beta-carotene turning into vitamin A in carrots, to lutein and zeaxanthin in kale or spinach, these nutrients act like invisible soldiers, nourishing the macula, restoring rhodopsin, or simply keeping the eyes hydrated so they don't sting when night falls. In this video, we will discover 5 vegetables, 2 that are already well known, stars, and 3 others you may never have realized are just as vital for your vision. This is more than information. It is a reminder. You still have the power to protect the clarity of your sight, and you can start with something as simple as the food on your table. Carrots, the golden nutrient for night vision. We've all heard it since childhood. Eat your carrots, they're good for your eyes. For many people, it sounded like nothing more than an old wives' tale, a trick parents used to get kids to finish their vegetables. But science has proven that this simple advice carries weight. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene, the pigment that gives them their bright orange color. Once inside your body, beta-carotene is converted into vitamin A, a nutrient essential for eye health, especially when it comes to seeing in low light. Vitamin A is directly involved in the production of rhodopsin, a light-sensitive protein in the rods of your retina. Without enough rhodopsin, your eyes struggle to adjust to the dark. That's why vitamin A deficiency can cause night blindness, making headlights unbearably bright, street signs blurry, and evening drives stressful. But here's the part most people don't realize: eating raw carrots won't unlock their full potential. Beta-carotene is fat-soluble and locked inside the tough fibers of the vegetable. When you cook carrots gently, by roasting, steaming, or sautéing, the cell walls soften, releasing the beta-carotene. Pair that with a healthy fat like olive oil, coconut oil, or even a small pat of butter, and suddenly your body can absorb and use it far more efficiently. Research backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults with higher intakes of vitamin A had significantly lower risks of night blindness and better adaptation to dim light. In other words, incorporating cooked carrots into dinner a few nights a week can directly support your eye's ability to handle the challenges of evening vision. Timing matters, too. The body carries out much of its repair and regeneration during sleep. Eating carrots in the evening allows vitamin A to be absorbed, converted, and put to work right when your eyes are in recovery mode. Think of it as giving your retina a quiet night shift crew. No supplements, no side effects, just food doing its natural job. Another advantage is safety. Unlike high-dose supplements, which can sometimes overload the body with too much vitamin A, carrots deliver beta-carotene in a form your system regulates. The body converts only what it needs into vitamin A, while the rest acts as an antioxidant, guarding eye tissue from oxidative stress. It's a smart, balanced system, nature's way of protecting you without risk. So the next time you sit down for dinner, don't underestimate those bright orange carrot slices on your plate. A serving of roasted carrots with a drizzle of olive oil isn't just comfort food, it's a simple act of preservation. It's giving your eyes the tools they need to keep adjusting to the darkness, to keep reading the fine print, and to keep noticing the details of the world after the sun goes down. Carrots remind us that sometimes the most ordinary foods can carry extraordinary power. No fancy pills, no complicated recipes, just a root vegetable, a bit of healthy fat, and a body still willing to heal. Pumpkin, the golden reservoir of beta-carotene. If carrots are the bright lanterns that light your way through the dark, then pumpkin is their quieter, humbler cousin, a golden reservoir of nourishment that often goes unnoticed. Soft, sweet, and comforting, pumpkin carries within its orange flesh a wealth of compounds that protect and sustain aging eyes. At the heart of pumpkin's power is beta-carotene, the same carotenoid responsible for carrots' powerful benefits for vision. Once converted into vitamin A, beta-carotene helps your eyes produce rhodopsin, the light-sensitive protein that allows you to adapt to darkness. Without enough vitamin A, your eyes struggle to adjust, street signs blur, headlights glare, and shadows become harder to navigate. Pumpkin delivers this essential nutrient in abundance, giving your retina the raw materials it needs to function well at night. But pumpkin doesn't stop there. It also contains vitamin C and vitamin E, two antioxidants that form a protective duo. Vitamin C supports the collagen framework that holds your cornea and blood vessels together, while vitamin E shields delicate eye cells from oxidative stress. When combined with vitamin A, these nutrients act like a three-part defense system, helping to slow the onset of age-related changes. The research is compelling. A study published in the Nutrients Journal found that diets rich in beta-carotene, vitamin C, and vitamin E were associated with a significantly lower risk of age-related cataracts. Cataracts, the clouding of the lens that makes the world look hazy and dim, are one of the most common causes of vision decline in older adults. Including foods like pumpkin in your meals can help delay this process, preserving the clarity of your sight for longer. Pumpkin also brings trace minerals like zinc and manganese to the table. These minerals support the enzymes in your retina that process light and defend against free radicals. Think of them as the mechanics working behind the scenes, keeping your visual machinery running smoothly as the years go by. The best part? Pumpkin is incredibly versatile. Roasted into soft cubes, blended into soups, or simmered into stews, it adapts to almost any meal. Cooking enhances the release of beta-carotene, making it easier for your body to absorb. And, just like with carrots and tomatoes, pairing pumpkin with a bit of healthy fat, olive oil, coconut milk, or even a sprinkle of nuts, amplifies the benefits. What you end up with is more than just comfort food, it's a gentle but powerful way of fueling your eyes. Pumpkin doesn't promise miracles. You won't suddenly see sharper tomorrow just by eating it tonight. But like so many of nature's quiet remedies, its power lies in steady, consistent support. A bowl of pumpkin soup a few nights a week won't just warm your body, it will also nourish your retina, strengthen your lens, and protect against the subtle, creeping changes of time. In its golden sweetness, pumpkin carries a reminder: healing isn't always about dramatic transformation. Sometimes, it's about holding on to what you still have, keeping your sight a little clearer, your nights a little less blurry, and your connection to the world just a little stronger. Pumpkin may look ordinary, but it is anything but. Hidden in its softness is resilience, waiting to be unlocked one meal at a time. Tomatoes, the red protector of the retina among all the vegetables we take for granted, tomatoes are probably the most underestimated. They show up everywhere, sliced on sandwiches, tossed into salads, simmered into sauces. To most of us, they're just a splash of color, a background note in a meal. But inside every ripe, red tomato is one of the most powerful antioxidants for the eyes, lycopene. Lycopene is a carotenoid that gives tomatoes their vibrant red hue. What makes it so valuable is its ability to concentrate in the retina and protect it against oxidative stress. Every day, your eyes are exposed to light, pollution, and the natural byproducts of metabolism, all of which create unstable molecules called free radicals. Left unchecked, these molecules attack and damage delicate retinal cells, speeding up the loss of clarity. Lycopene steps in as a bodyguard, neutralizing free radicals before they can do harm. Science has backed this up again and again. A study published in Investigative Ophthalmology in AMP, Visual Science found that lycopene helps protect the retina from light-induced damage and slows the progression of retinal degeneration. Other research suggests that people with higher dietary intakes of lycopene have a lower risk of developing cataracts, another age-related condition that clouds vision. But here's the catch: you won't get much lycopene from biting into a raw tomato. Lycopene is fat-soluble and locked tightly within plant fibers. When tomatoes are gently cooked, turned into a sauce, soup, or roasted dish, the heat breaks down those cell walls, releasing lycopene in a form your body can absorb more easily. Pair it with a little healthy fat, olive oil, avocado, even a sprinkle of cheese, and its bioavailability skyrockets. That's why a bowl of tomato soup or a plate of pasta with tomato sauce can actually deliver more eye protective power than a raw tomato salad. This makes tomatoes uniquely well suited to the modern world. In an age where our eyes are under constant assault from blue light emitted by screens, oxidative stress is a daily reality. Lycopene helps reinforce the retina's resilience, allowing it to endure those hours of scrolling, typing, and streaming without breaking down as quickly. And unlike some nutrients that require complex preparation or expensive supplements, tomatoes are almost effortless to incorporate. They blend into countless meals, from stews to smoothies. Their mild sweetness and acidity complement nearly every cuisine. The key is consistency, choosing to include cooked tomatoes in your diet several times a week so that lycopene becomes part of your eye's daily defense system. When you spoon up a bite of tomato sauce, you're doing more than enjoying comfort food. You're delivering antioxidants directly to your retina, shielding it against a lifetime of light exposure and oxidative stress. It's not dramatic. You won't notice the difference tomorrow, but over time, that steady protection helps your eyes hold on to their sharpness. Tomatoes remind us of something profound, that the foods we often dismiss as ordinary can quietly hold extraordinary potential. In their redness is not just flavor, but a signal of strength, a reminder that every meal is a chance to either nourish or neglect your vision. Choosing tomatoes is choosing resilience, one bite at a time. Kale, the green shield against macular degeneration. If carrots are the little lanterns that help you see in the dark, then kale is the shield that guards your vision from one of the most devastating threats of aging: macular degeneration. Unlike cataracts, which can often be treated with surgery, macular degeneration slowly erodes the very center of your sight, the macula. It's the part of the eye that lets you read, recognize faces, and notice fine detail. When it deteriorates, the world doesn't just blur, it warps, fades, or even develops dark holes right in the middle of your vision. This is where kale shines. Hidden within its dark, tough leaves are powerful defenders: lutein and zeaxanthin. These carotenoids act like internal sunglasses, shielding your retina from the constant assault of blue light and oxidative stress. They don't just float around randomly, they are delivered straight to your macula, where protection matters most. The problem is, your body cannot make lutein and zeaxanthin on its own. You have to get them from food. And kale happens to be one of the richest natural sources we know. Research has been crystal clear. A landmark study in the American Journal of Ophthalmology found that people who consumed the highest levels of lutein and zeaxanthin had a 43% lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration compared to those who consumed the least. And the AREDS2 trial, one of the largest eye health studies ever conducted, confirmed that these nutrients could slow the progression of existing macular degeneration, giving patients more time with clearer central vision. But there's a catch. Eating kale raw isn't always the best way to reap the benefits. Raw kale does contain these carotenoids, yes, but it also carries compounds that can interfere with absorption and make it harder on the digestive system. Lightly steaming or sautéing kale breaks down those tough cell walls, unlocking lutein and zeaxanthin and making them bioavailable. Pair it with a drizzle of olive oil or half an avocado, and those fat-soluble pigments suddenly have a ride straight into your bloodstream. Kale also carries extra bonuses: vitamin C and vitamin K. Vitamin C keeps the delicate capillaries in the eye strong and resilient, while vitamin K supports healthy blood flow. Together, they help maintain the fragile structures of the retina, which are especially vulnerable to age-related stress. What does this mean in practical terms? Adding kale to your meals a few times a week isn't about chasing some trendy superfood label. It's about giving your eyes a fighting chance. A small side of steamed kale with lemon, a handful tossed into a soup, or even a warm salad sautéed in olive oil. Each serving acts like another layer of armor protecting your macula. In today's world, where our eyes are bombarded by blue light from screens nearly every waking hour, kale becomes even more relevant. Every scroll on your phone, every late-night email, every Netflix binge is another dose of stress on your retina. Lutein and zeaxanthin are being depleted daily, and without replenishment, your eyes lose their defense. Kale is one of the simplest ways to restore that shield. No, kale won't reverse vision that's already been lost. Science is honest about that. But it can help you hold onto the vision you still have, and sometimes that's the most important kind of healing. Protecting the ability to read, to recognize faces, to stay independent, that is no small gift. Kale may look unassuming on the plate, but inside, it carries the power to preserve the sharpness of your world. And all it asks in return is a little space on your dinner table. Spinach, the hidden ally for your eyes. Kale often gets the spotlight as the ultimate eye-friendly green, but spinach is the quieter sibling, softer, more approachable, yet carrying a strength that can make a real difference for your vision. It doesn't announce itself with toughness. It slips into your meals with ease, and maybe that's why so many people overlook it. But spinach, as research has shown, is one of the most underrated allies your eyes could have. Like kale, spinach is packed with lutein and zeaxanthin, the golden carotenoids that collect in the macula, the very center of your retina that lets you read fine print, see faces, and distinguish details. These pigments act like built-in sunglasses, absorbing harmful blue light before it can damage retinal cells. The more lutein and zeaxanthin you have stored in your macula, the stronger your eye's defense system. But spinach offers something extra: dietary nitrates. These compounds help relax and widen blood vessels, improving blood flow. For the eyes, that means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to the fragile network of capillaries in the retina. When circulation is smooth, retinal cells stay healthier for longer, better equipped to withstand the daily stresses of light and age. A study published in Clinical Nutrition confirmed this. People who consumed spinach regularly showed increased macular pigment density, which translates to greater protection against light-induced damage and age-related macular degeneration. Put simply, spinach doesn't just feed your body, it literally fortifies the structure of your sight. Spinach also carries a supporting cast of nutrients: vitamin C, vitamin K, and folate. Vitamin C helps protect collagen in the eye and fights oxidative stress. Vitamin K maintains healthy blood vessels, preventing tiny retinal capillaries from becoming weak. Folate aids in cell renewal. Together, they provide a broad spectrum of support, making spinach one of the most complete packages of nourishment for aging eyes. The beauty of spinach is how easily it fits into daily life. Unlike kale, which can be tough and bitter, spinach is tender and mild. You can toss it into a quick stir-fry, blend it into a smoothie, fold it into scrambled eggs, or steam it as a simple side dish. And just like kale, spinach's carotenoids are fat-soluble, so adding a bit of olive oil, avocado, or cheese not only makes it tastier, but also boosts absorption dramatically. Studies also suggest a practical benefit. People with higher spinach intake reported better night vision and faster recovery after exposure to bright light compared to those who rarely ate it. That means less squinting at headlights, less discomfort when moving from bright to dim environments, and more ease in everyday tasks that demand visual adjustment. Spinach may not have the bold reputation of kale or the bright allure of carrots, but its quiet strength lies in its simplicity. It's a vegetable you can eat often without effort, one that blends seamlessly into meals and routines. And in that consistency lies its power. Every serving of spinach is a small deposit into your eyes' savings account of health, protecting your macula, supporting circulation, and helping your vision stay resilient in a world that constantly strains it. Spinach reminds us that not all allies make noise. Some are quiet, steady, and always there when you need them. And for your eyes, spinach might be exactly that, an unassuming but essential friend, silently guarding your vision one bite at a time. Our eyes are more than organs of sight. They are windows to our memories, our independence, our connections with the people we love. Aging may dim them, slowly and quietly, but that does not mean we are powerless. Science shows us that even later in life, our cells still respond, still rebuild, still hold on when given the right kind of care. Carrots, kale, tomatoes, spinach, pumpkin, ordinary vegetables, yes. But when cooked with intention, they become something greater. A defense, a comfort, a ritual of self-care that whispers to your body, I am still here. I still choose to protect you. Healing doesn't always mean restoring what was lost. Sometimes it means preserving what remains, holding on to clarity, protecting connection, and giving yourself the gift of continuity. A few simple meals, repeated consistently, can help your vision stay sharper, your nights feel less uncertain, your days more confident. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to do something simple. Click like, subscribe to Health 247, and share this video with someone you care about, someone who might need a reminder that it's never too late to take action. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these vegetables will you try adding to your dinner this week? Your story might just inspire someone else who's searching for hope. Sparkle's disclaimer. All content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Please consult your doctor if you have any health concerns or eye conditions. Thank you for being here, thank you for caring, and remember, your comeback doesn't have to be loud, it only has to be real.